It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
And welcome to the realm of geekdom. This is Nerd Breaking News. We have a new trailer for the HBO TV series Lanterns. Let's go ahead and jump into that. Let's watch the trailer together and react to it. But before we do that, make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of our episodes. So let's go ahead and bring that up real quickly and get that trailer playing.
This ring, it's the greatest weapon in the universe. When and if to use it, that's the whole ball game, Junior.
Did you just use that ring to counterfeit money?
No.
Well, tell me how you got it. The ring?
You know how I got it. I sure as hell didn't interview for it.
Oh, well, shit, maybe you should have. Power like that, shouldn't you have to work for it?
I've been doing this since you were a baby. The only way you're gonna get this ring is over my dead fucking body.
I think he likes me. Everybody's lying to us.
We're not leaving here until we find out what they're hiding. Danger's part of the job. You need to be fearless.
How were you chosen for this?
It's only one question. Are you afraid?
You afraid?
Are you afraid? Are you afraid? Are you afraid? Are you afraid?
Serious. And I'll do this better than he's ever done it before.
Then go and get it, John Stewart.
And there you go. We have that trailer there. Let's jump with the reaction. I already see our DC resident here, shaking your head, huffing and puffing. Tell us, what is your reaction?
Man, I feel like the DCU takes 2 steps forward and 1 step back. It's really, it's not Green Lanterns. This feels like, okay, so it was reported like a week ago that this show is going to take place in 2 different timelines, 2016 and 2026. 2016 is what we see, this true detective style vibe with Stewart and Hal Jordan. And then in 2026 is a cosmic battle. That's what's supposedly been reported. What they're insinuating is that Stewart is not going to become his own Green Lantern as opposed to the comic books. I'm not saying he has to follow it directly, but in the comic books, he becomes a backup Lantern because something happens to Al Jordan, and then eventually there's a world where everybody coincides and there's multiple Green Lanterns at the same time. Here, they're saying, "Hey, John, Jesus, John, I'm so pissed off about this. Hey, John, take over the Green Lanterns once Hal's done." And it's weird. Like, that's not, like, they're reconning John's storyline. And it's just, he's a military guy. He's not supposed to be this rebellious guy questioning all this stuff. And then Hal Jordan is 60-something years old. We knew that already, so I'm not shocked. I'm not bitching about that. I'm more like, so you conjure up money with your ring. They don't do that. It's an energy thing. Can't physically come up with something like that. Like it's where's the suit? Like, we saw the suit one time and it's dark. He flies and there's no green thing over there. Like, it's a lot of, I don't know. Again, I'll watch it for the sake of, like, okay, let's see where this goes. But it's not exciting. And even the guy playing Stewart, I'm like, all right, cool. I hope he does well. We saw. We still haven't seen the full Sinistro show yet, but we saw, what's it called, Guy Gardner. Like, Superman was already a disappointment. We don't want to see Guy Gardner. Hal Jordan's too old. I'll leave it with this. Again, I'll be there day one, but reluctantly. Hal Jordan's too old. I hate the fact that they're reconning Stewart's storyline. And even when he flies, it's off. It doesn't look like the Green Lantern. It doesn't look like a Green Lantern show. So.
Anytime I hear about a DC failure, it makes me a little bit happier. So, where I may surprise you is I'm actually optimistic about the show, mainly because it's made, I know, right? It's made by Damon Lindelof, the same guy who did Watchmen, and I think he was involved in Lost as well. So you know that in this show, there's going to be some kind of mystery. There's going to be some kind of mystery they're looking to solve.
Yeah.
At the same time, when you're looking at the cast is pretty good, which means the script has to be pretty good, and the plot has to be pretty good. The problem, though, is that at the end of the day, he does not care at all about the canon of Green Lantern. But, to be frank with you, we all shouldn't either.
Yeah.
Because one thing that we have to admit about the canon of Green Lantern is that it doesn't make sense. When you're looking at it from start to finish, it contradicts itself multiple times. For example, Hal Jordan was Parallax. He killed all the Green Lanterns. Now he's the hero again? What? Like, a lot of it just doesn't really work. And I think that the challenge that he and other future DCU creators are going to have is the question of today isn't necessarily can we do what they did in the comics, because visually, sure, you can. Now the question is, should we? And I think that for the DCU films, the issue they're going to have is that there's some stuff from the comics that they maybe shouldn't adapt. So like when we stop and we say, okay, why doesn't he fly around with the green energy signature when he's flying around on Earth? Well, probably because if they do it that way, it becomes more of a reminder that you're looking at a superhero show, but that's not what they want to make. So you kind of look at it, you're like, okay, you look at the idea of them only being able to make green constructs, but now being able to literally create things. Well, what if they spent the entire show literally just making green energy things? First couple episodes, you're going to be cool with it. But then episodes like 3, 4, 5, and 6, you'll be like, I saw it already. Not so exciting. If you can conjure up a piggy bank, money, pencils, cars, it could be interesting. But to the kid's point, that's not really Green Lantern anymore, is it? It's not. And I think another question to ask is that actually a bad thing? And personally, I've always liked the idea of Green Lantern, but I can see that Green Lantern is also trash. So this might be a way of taking what works with the characters and turning them into something they can continue making money off of. Because as we know, DC hasn't found ways to make much from this character at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're also in very murky waters. Superman did mid in the box office.
Mm-hmm.
Supergirl comes out next month. It's about to get sandwiched by the Minions in Toy Story 5. And so by the time this thing comes out in 3 months in August, are we really going to be, where are the DC fans? We know they're going to be. They're going to be like, what's Matt Reeves doing?
Correct.
And I think what I said last time about the teaser that came out as well, James Gunn, and then what do you got? So you also got Clayface at the end of the year. Could the momentum or the lack of momentum from Superman to Supergirl to Lanterns, and then Clayface is technically DCU, which I don't know, it's frustrating that it is. So you have 4 films. So by October, we're going to have 4 properties, not including Creature Commandos from James Gunn's DCU. And there could be a legitimate argument that it's under 500 in terms of not only box office, but in terms of quality. Superman's biggest problem was the damn script. The script was so bad in Superman that it was horrible. Supergirl looks like Guardians 4. And then Lanterns doesn't look like Green Lanterns. There's kind of like a pattern here with James Gunn. You have the library of DC of 80 years, and nothing looks like, with the exception of David Cornsweet, nothing looks like it should look like. And it's just like, how can you mess up this bad? You fumbled the layup. He's Iggy, and the fans are LeBron, blocked by James. Every time that he thinks he's gonna do a layup, the fans are like, "Yo, this is not good." How can Al Jordan be 60 years old? It's cool that he's training John, but you can't be 60 because you essentially said, "Yo, don't worry about Hal Jordan. We already gave you stories that we're never gonna tell." And that's cool. They want to change it up. I'm not saying everything has to be exactly the same as it always was. Look at the Ryan Reynolds movie. It was horrible.
Mhm.
Green Lantern is not exactly it's gotten to the point where Green Lantern, Rocket Raccoon has beaten Green Lantern. And Green Lantern had a head start over Rocket Raccoon. And it's ironic because that was James Gunn's boy. So James Gunn boy beat James Gunn's guy. So right on schedule, James Gunn is playing both sides. I still believe that he's hired by Marvel. Nobody could be this incompetent consciously. And the only thing I'll say is that, lastly, I'll say, this only helps. Why is it that every time the DCU thing comes out, whether it be a movie, a teaser, a poster, whatever, it's always like, and when Matt Reeves comes out, we're all, where's the honey? Where's the honey to glaze over Matt Reeves?
I think that's something that James Gunn understands, that fans don't always want to admit, is that there's just no money there. And it sounds bad, but the example that I constantly use is Daredevil. The Daredevil TV show is an exact reflection of what every nerd on the internet has been saying for years, and no one watched it. And the thing is that
Andor. You said Andor was the greatest thing ever.
No one watched it. So you can go ahead and you can make a perfect comic book show, but guess what? No one's going to watch it. Instead, they want to get our kids, they want to get our parents, they want to get our girlfriends, and they want to get our wives. Girlfriends, wives being the same for, let's be clear. But they want
You imagine they're not
two different people, guys. Not two different people.
Awkward for some. So what ends up happening is they have to bend these things into going further than where the comic books would go. It literally is the only way. So, for example, this Lantern show only works if people's wives or girlfriends say they want to watch it. It is what it is. True. But unfortunately, that means you got to abandon some of the superhero stuff. Particularly now that we're entering this anti-DEI era, and now you can't make cultural shows anymore.
How far are these two actors going to your point, which is a great marketing point you made, how far is Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre going to get those casual people that are not Green Lantern or DC? Mm-hmm.
Girls love them both.
That's what I'm saying. Go. That's going to be interesting to see. Because for damn sure, they're not going to show up for Guardians 4.
Nope.
I'm going to watch the Minions.
So for me, I kind of sit right in the middle. Like, I do see, like, some positive. I'm liking some of the stuff that I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I have that in the back of my head that this is a Lanterns show, and there's things that are not correlating. And it's confusing me on it. Since I'm not a big DC guy, I'm pretty sure I understood that the ring is you're chosen. It's not like hand down. That threw me off. Like, this sounds like this is gonna be like, well, when I retire, I guess you take over the mantle. Like, that's not how the ring works. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. Like, there's certain things that are throwing me off. But again, I'm not really into the DC universe and know the history that well. So for me, it's like, I want to see what the story takes me. All right. And so far, it still has me locked in. So I'm kind of like right there. Like I said, right in the middle. Like, I see the positive, I see the negatives. I need to see a little bit more for me to be able to better determine, like, if this is going to be good or not, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of these things where we got to watch the first couple episodes and be like, do I want to continue it?
Exactly.
That's what it is. But when the Penguin came out, we saw the first episode. We saw the trailer, man.
And we knew.
We knew. Here, you're like, to your point, TK, all right, dog, how long is this? Do I want to give it 45 minutes of my time?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Especially when streaming is insane right now.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. All right, any final comments before we end this stream?
It's dangerous to
I'll
go
say the same.
alone. Take
I'll say the
this.
same thing I say every time. Professor. Say be Matt Reeves.
Correct. Correct.
Well, thank you for tuning in, everybody. Let us know what you thought about the trailer. Do you agree with what we're saying? And if you don't, let us know down in the comments. So keep your fandom alive and your wardrobe engaged. Until next time, nerds, this is Nerd Breaking News.